First, we begin with breaking news at 6:30. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office confirming they will go for the death penalty in the high-profile case of a young woman murdered along a hiking trail in Scottsdale in April. Lauren Heike, ambushed on the trail, stabbed repeatedly. Detectives made a DNA match and arrested Zion Teasley. He was just released from prison 5 months prior and told detectives he wanted to look like Lauren, suggesting he may have been watching her before the attack. He pleaded not guilty in what is now a death penalty case.
Lauren's parents releasing a statement tonight saying in part the family supports the decision and they are grateful for the work of MCAO and Phoenix PD, that they will be there every step of the way to ensure Lauren receives justice as they make their way through their first Christmas without her. Their hearts continue to break for her life being cut short, and that they want Lauren to be remembered for the beautiful, kind person she was, saying they find hope and joy knowing they will someday all be reunited. This all coming into our newsroom in just the last 20 minutes. You can count on us here to have much more for you tonight on the news at 9 and our AZ Family News app right now.